Tonight, under the winter glow of central Indiana, one of the great sports towns in the country will officially welcome professional volleyball. The first match ever for the Indy Ignite at the Fishers Event Center, taking on the Orlando Valkyries. And we are so excited to have you with us, Jack Kaiser with Bria Losick, on this historic night in the state of Indiana. Volleyball on the PVF is faster, more athletic, and just wildly popular right now. Now, Bria, it's time for the Indy Ignite to officially join the fun.
Yeah, and what better city than Indianapolis to welcome the new expansion team for the PVF? It's always been elite in Indiana when it comes to volleyball. The club level, high school, so many great college teams that Indiana is known for. And it's kind of like they're letting us in on a little bit of a secret here. Like, we can do this sold-out crowd. Indiana volleyball is where it is at, and now they're letting the world know.
Absolutely. We've already seen the fans filing in early. The atmosphere is expected to be electric tonight. That's something that the head coach for the Ignite, George Padgett, knows. He said there's probably going to be some nerves early. If they can work through that, he's really excited about their chances.
Yeah, and he has so many different pieces to work with. A couple of veterans, one in Sydney Hilly, his setter that he's really excited about. And that's someone that you can lean on, not only in that position of setter directing the offense, but someone that has that experience as a veteran to calm the nerves a little bit. A
great relationship with Sydney Hilly that spans over a decade, 21 years as an assistant coach at Division II Concordia St. Paul in Minnesota. It was a powerhouse in Division II. You talk to anybody on this team, the technicality of the way that he teaches, it's just unparalleled. And looking at Sydney Hilly in the starting lineup, you see the rest of the first starting lineup in the history of the Indy Ignite. It's not the tallest roster, but they're gritty and they're defensive.
Yeah, that's exactly how Coach Padgett built the roster. And someone that I'd like to point out is definitely Kylie Murr, that home state hero, getting to play volleyball in Indiana for the first time since high school.
First time since high school. Really the excitement around all these players. We just can't wait to see how they react in a new kind of environment. That was the first starting lineup. These are the first scenes inside of the Fishers Event Center. The Valkyries already playing a match this year, taking on the Ignite. We can't wait to share this moment with you. Together, Franklin Sports and Pro Volleyball Federation are shaking up the world of volleyball. Franklin is the provider of the real Pro Volleyball, the exclusive ball of the Pro Volleyball Federation and the ultimate volleyball for our world-class professionals. You can get your Franklin Real Pro Volleyball today at franklinsports.com. Announced a couple of years ago that Indianapolis would be welcoming a professional volleyball team, part of the PVF, and on the northeast side of Indy, just outside of Indianapolis and Fishers, here's the scene at the Fishers Event Center. Sold out, and starting lineups being announced for the first time.
Center from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, number 2, Sydney Hillary.
There's going to be nerves early, especially for the Ignite. It is their season opener. It is not for the Orlando Valkyries, coming off a sweep of San Diego on Thursday back in Florida. And the big addition for Orlando, higher expectations for them in the PVF this year, picked to finish second in the preseason poll. Pornpun Goodpard at that center spot, number 3, is outstanding out of Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand fans know her as Shampoo, and she directs the offense so well. Amidst all the chaos, she always seems to calm everything down. She'll run crazy combos, and she's one of the quickest setters in the world.
The offense wasn't dynamic enough for Orlando last year, but Goodpard, Shampoo, as you said, expected to change that. And they were royally efficient in their first match, hitting .319 against San Diego in that sweep. The starting lineup for the Ignite. We've talked about Sydney Hilly, her relationship with the head coach, George Pageant. But watch out on the outside for Lekator Member Mena. She is wildly athletic.
Yeah, so much speed and power, a huge heavy arm on the outside. She might be a little bit undersized, but you don't want to be on the court and get hit by one of her balls. I mean, that's exactly what head coach George Pageant told us this week.
No way he's getting on the court with Lekator out there. There's Kylie Murr, the libero out of Yorktown for the Indy Ignite. Bria, what are our keys to the match today?
First off, to establish that middle offense, you see Blake Moeller getting the starting role. That was kind of up in the air, coming right up until the first serve, and she was chosen for that not only because of her veteran leadership, but also because she's a little bit better offensively than some of the rookie middles, and so getting that middle offense started is really important.
Handling early nerves as well, just critical for a new franchise in front of a sold-out crowd. The environment's going to be crazy tonight. And for Orlando, Bria, what do we have?
Yeah, first of all, taking control early in their first match against the San Diego Mojo. It took them a little bit to kind of get some of those nerves out, like you were talking about, some service errors in the beginning. But then they were able to go on some nice runs, a 9-3 run in the first set and an 8-3 run in the second. But they want to start out a little bit stronger.
Fast start's always appreciated, especially by the head coaches. A moment that Sydney Hilly and the Ignite have been waiting for a long time. You see our officials tonight. This is the elite of the elite, from officials to players to technology, environments. We cannot wait to get this one started.
Yeah, you mentioned that technology that's used in the PVF. 22 cameras are stationed around the court, and that helps with the replays. It helps facilitate it a little bit faster, and you know, that's something different from the college level. Sometimes you'll take a couple minutes to have to look through different angles, but everything is sped up with that high-speed technology.
Bolt 6, the technical term for it, to look at balls inside or outside of the line. You can't challenge that because they have the tech for it. Something Amy Pauley knows in her second season as the Orlando head coach. Finished tied for 5th out of 7 teams in the league last year, but with the influx of new players, Amy Pauley very confident that her team can have a spectacular season. She said it's fun to have a target on your back going into the year, and Orlando's out to a great start with 1 win already. For George Pageant, it is brand new territory, moving from Minnesota down to Indiana, taking a new job and coaching professional volleyball after being an assistant coach in Division II for over 2 decades. Here we go. The first swing for the Ignite is tipped from CeCe Crawford. And Brittany Abercrombie starts it well for Orlando. She's got all the tools for the Valkyries.
Yeah, and she's only gotten better as she's gone through her professional career. She's one of those players that every single year you see her, she seems to develop a little bit more.
And now serving for Orlando, Adora Anai. That's a service error. Service errors are always critical, especially early in the match when players are still getting a feel for the environment.
Yeah, there's some of those nerves that Coach Pageant was talking about, and it's definitely expected. And against San Diego, there were also a lot of service errors as well.
Yeah, for both teams. And going off the top of the block, there is Courtney Schwann, the outside for the Valkyries, out of Auburn, Washington. Played her college ball at Washington, and now an 8th-year pro. It's more of a veteran Orlando group, while Indy has 7 rookies on the roster, being a new franchise. The Ignite answer going to the right side. And that is the first kill in this season for Johnny Teeler out of Grand Prairie, Texas.
Yeah, so much power from Teeler.
A ball of muscle to really complement Lecator member Mena on the opposite side. And Abercrombie has the answer for Orlando on top 3-2 early in set 1.
Shampoo targeting Abercrombie very early, getting her started. And that's how she plays all the other pieces of her offense together, getting Abercrombie some of those early touches and then being able to spread out her offense from there.
It is a balanced offense for Orlando, and Shampoo, the conductor, on the outside. There is Lecator member Mena out of St. Louis, one of the most powerful outsides in the PVF. She's just 5'8", but she can jump out of the gym. And CeCe Crawford, tied at 3, will now serve it away. That's sent down. Blake Moeller there to meet Shampoo at the net.
How about that from Blake Moeller, known for her offense, but she saw that all the way through with the strong hands.
Moeller out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, played 5 years at Purdue, so very familiar with the state of Indiana. A service error for Crawford, the rookie out of Wisconsin.
Courtney Schwann serving.
Now Schwann serves. Here's the set for Sydney Hilly in the middle, sent down, dug up beautifully. And a quick send down at the net. Indy had 2 players there.
And the crowd is starting to get into it too. Standing room only here at the Fishers Event Center. I mean, can't talk enough about the atmosphere that's already being created in Game 1.
The franchise has done such a great job of ingratiating itself with the community. There's a back row kill for the Valkyries.
Yeah, Abercrombie with the bic. I mean, so much power. Love Shampoo targeting her there.
You'll see Abercrombie all over the floor, and they will target her consistently. But this match has really been marketed for a while, and the Ignite franchise has done such a good job with it. Tip over the top from Lecator. We're tied once again.
Yeah, with that tip, I mean, she kind of was a little deceptive there and pulled back looking like she was going to rip it and just goes right over the top of the blockers.
It's actually the Ignite jumping out on top by 1. Member Mena played her collegiate volleyball at Missouri before going to Pittsburgh. As Orlando is able to answer. And it's Brittany Abercrombie once again, who starred at USC.
Yeah, who else? And Orlando is definitely happy to get member Mena off of the service line with just 1 serve.
Off the serve from Shampoo. Tip over the top. The back row at Schwann. Now Hilly will set across the way. Chaich. And cleaned up by Georgia Murphy, the libero for Orlando. Oh, Lecator member Mena Did not get the touch. Goes off the net out of bounds, but a big-time swing from that back row.
Yeah, it's interesting so far to see both offenses really using all parts of the court, especially a lot of big attacks.
It's a back set, blocked initially, cleaned up. And across the court goes wide from Chayich.
I like it though, even though she missed. I mean, Chayich is known for her insane angles, trying to get that cross court. A little bit of those nerves for the rookie.
4th round pick in November, Chayich, last season of college at Tennessee. 8-6 Orlando on top early. Good serve receive. And Chayich with power. Kylie Murr was there. Chayich tries again. That goes high once again.
And you can see Sydney Hilly, the veteran setter, really trying to get Chayich all of the touches she can get her comfortable in the game. You saw her target her 3 times in a row there.
Still trying to settle in. Largest lead of the first set for Orlando, 9-6. Back set, and there is the power from Teeler.
Ooh, that was just insane power from the back row from Teeler. Has me speechless.
Again, the athleticism, the power, unparalleled here in the PVF. Second year of the league's existence. Orlando is able to answer with an eye.
And Anai getting that on the outside, but there was a nice little decoy in the middle that caused the blockers to be a little bit confused.
Anai serves, it goes short. Hilly sets to a slide. Crawford could not terminate. Hilly will try again. A roll. In-system chance for Orlando and Abercrombie. Dug out. Chayich leaps and goes right into the nets. A reminder, training camp for the Ignite started in December. So really just a month to prepare for the start of the season. A brand new franchise. There could be some kinks to work out early. That's an ace for Orlando.
Yeah, you talk about some of those kinks. I mean, especially when it comes to Hilly being familiar with all of her pieces around her in the offense, getting those connections down.
Especially apparent for the setter and just the fluidity in which everything operates. To your point, we saw the ace from Anai there, a timeout for the Ignite, with Orlando on top 12-7. Again, the first match in franchise history for the Indy Ignite. They're the 8th team to join the PVF. League started last year. Orlando was part of the mix last season. And they finished tied for 5th. As we check out our preseason poll, considering they're the newcomer to the block, pretty impressive that the Ignite were picked to finish 4th out of 8 teams in the league. That speaks to what people think of the roster construction for Indy this year.
Yeah, particularly their draft picks, especially that pair from Louisville. Louisville fans know DeBeer and Scott coming is just a dynamic duo. DeBeer obviously still out with injury, but those are 2 pieces to be excited about. And also, you know, getting those veteran pieces like Hilly is really what led to those strong feelings in that poll.
Saw the strong feelings as well for Orlando, expected to improve drastically. Fresh off the ace, it's a service error for Anai. As the Ignite try to rally here in set 1, Hilly steps to the line. Played in Puerto Rico in 2022 and won a PVF title with Omaha last year, the MVP of the PVF playoffs. It's a bump set, up to Teeler, going cross court.
And how about that out-of-system kill, too? Kylie Murr was so just confident and calm in getting her offense set up out-system.
Confidence is not something that Kylie Murr lacks. A big-time personality for the Ignite. Quick set in the middle. That is easy money for Orlando. Abby Hansen for the Valkyries. Played her last 2 seasons in college at UCF, and this was gorgeous.
Yeah, quick set to her in the middle, and she's feeling it. Look at her celebrating with her teammates.
You mentioned the fastest setter on the planet, Shampoo. That was a real quick set. Taylor the dig. Set back from Crawford, and the tip cleaned up by Orlando. Back to Abercrombie. And it's out with no touch.
Point for the Ignite.
Abercrombie now hitting 504 kills to lead the way for Orlando so far. Chaich about to step to the line. And our first challenge of the night. Different rules than NCAA volleyball in this respect. You get 2 challenges per set. If you win it, you keep it. And something that is challengeable is whether there was a touch or not at the net. And that's what Orlando is asking for, and Amy Pauley. All right, Bria, what do you think?
I don't see a touch. I mean, that swing from Abercrombie. You see the Indy Ignite players right away throwing their hands up. No, we didn't touch it. But Orlando went to the sideline right away.
Is there enough evidence to overturn the call? Look for fingertips bending back.
Point Indy Ignite.
And officially announced now, the ruling on the court will stand. Point Ignite. Not enough to overturn the call, so just 1 challenge left here in the first set for Orlando. Schwann the swing and the kill.
Such a confident offensive combo coming from Shampoo and Orlando, especially coming off of that top spin serve from Chaich. Beautiful reception to set up the offense.
Orlando hitting 333 so far in the first set. Hit 319 last match in a sweep of San Diego. And there is Member Mena with another kill to pull the Ignite back within 3.
Member Mena is one of those players that head coach George Padgett said might just become a crowd favorite, you know, a staple in the Indy Ignite fan base just because of how much power and passion she plays with.
She can hit it 65 miles an hour consistently during the match. Goes soft that time, cleaned up by Abercrombie. And well done by Anai. From behind that back line, really tooled the block well.
Yeah, and that's where her experience comes in.
Anai ultra experience. Really, the entire Orlando roster is helping them out to a 4-point lead in set 1. Pro Volleyball proudly invests in the next generation of leaders by partnering with the nonprofit organization Girl Talk. Through peer-to-peer mentoring, Girl Talk works to help all girls gain practical leadership experience. Girls interested in starting a Girl Talk club or joining one of the 100 existing clubs across the nation can visit mygirltalk.org. And the inspiration for young girls with the PVF in general, but Now the Indy Ignite is just off the charts, and you see the Indiana connections with this roster, purposeful to a certain extent. Kylie Murr from just down the road in Yorktown, about 40 minutes away from here. Carly Scott from the neighboring town here in Fishers, over in Carmel, a Carmel High School graduate. Blake Moeller and Grace Wade both played at Purdue several years ago.
Yeah, and for Kylie Murr, she said it made her emotional just thinking of all the little Kylies in the stands getting to watch her today.
I think that's really the case for everybody across the board. Just an inspirational night. Sold out here at the Fishers Event Center. 7,500 fans, adding to the popularity of the PVF now into its second season. An attack arrow wide gives the serve back to Orlando. 16-11 they lead in front of an awesome crowd. This venue's awesome. It's set up so well, Brittany.
Yeah, just opened in November.
Concerts here, comedy shows, Indy Fuel play here, and now the Ignite officially starting their schedule.
And here we go. How about a debut for a player that I know a lot of volleyball fans are very excited to see.
Elena Scott serving for the first time. We mentioned Anna DeBeer. Scott, one of the draft picks and rookies for the Ignite. From just down the road in Louisville. Got her first serve, and a tool of the block for Orlando. And Kaz Brown, well done to make it a 5-point set again.
Yeah, she's known for her defense mostly, but Kaz Brown has really come along offensively, especially a very strong showing on Thursday.
The reigning PVF middle of the year and serving now. Orlando in control. Haley sets up top, and Chaich is stuff blocked.
Hansen saw that all the way through. I mean, just looking at this replay here, eyes on her the whole time. Solo stuff at the net.
Hansen barely played for Orlando last year. More time early in the season. This season, playing well. Tell you what, Orlando's playing really well right now. Their largest lead of the set, expanding that mark again. Timeout called by the Ignite, and George Pageant with Orlando out in front by 7. It has been balanced, and no surprise, with Pornpun Goodpard, they call her Shampoo, running the show very efficiently.
Yeah, Shampoo has so many weapons to choose from. Abercrombie, someone that Orlando was very excited to get in the offseason, the Athletes Unlimited champion. And that says a lot about who you are as a player, because you're not only playing on a team every week, but you're really playing for yourself. And you have to be consistent throughout the entire season, not only being dominant on the court, but always having to be on top of your game to accumulate the most points and become the champion at the end. The first outside hitter to win.
Shows her versatile skill set, and she's carrying that to the PVF. Abercrombie, again, starred at USC, played overseas in 5 different countries: Poland, Germany, Puerto Rico, Turkey, South Korea. Pepper's starting to get down, mascot for the Ignite. But this is the beauty of the PVF. All the great college volleyball players, even some international players, you're allotted 3 international spots on a roster. The American players can stay home and get paid extremely well, play at an elite level, and it was a great success last year and only expected to rise more this season. Kaz Brown still at the line. 8-point lead for Orlando. They haven't lost a set yet this year. Tight to the net. Haley sets. Member Mena goes wide. Member Mena was a part of the Atlanta Vibe last year, this season's preseason favorite. Indy's trying to get Brown off the line. Member Mena tries again, and blocked.
And again, Orlando just reading that all the way through. I know Sydney Hilly is really trying to target a lot of the same players back to back, get them comfortable and get those connections in rhythm, but might need to vary it up a little bit more.
Substitution for the Valkyries, number 19.
Finding that balance is easier in training camp. When the lights are on, 7,500, standing room only, watching you. A little bit more challenging with a new team. And Orlando is certainly looking like the experienced bunch right now. Long way to go, though. It's best 3 out of 5. First 4 sets to 25. If we go to a 5th, it's first to 15. A tip over the top, and even if they don't rally to win this set, perhaps the Ignite can find some momentum moving into set 2.
And that was an out-of-system play, but it doesn't necessarily look like it because Elena Scott being able to direct and set so efficiently. Before she was a libero, she was actually a setter in high school, and that's why those out-of-system plays just look so casual to her.
It was a bit of a risk going to Louisville for Elena Scott to become a libero, but became arguably the best in Louisville history. But still that setting background coming in handy. That was a bullet serve. And a 9 terminates. Orlando just looks sharp in every aspect.
And you have to wonder if part of that is having that one game underneath your belt. Also, a season under your belt, we have to mention as well. I mean, obviously, Indy having the pressure of playing that first game in history here.
Kaich trying to get it going. And a 9 with a quick tip over the top. The reset. Shampoo goes to a 9 once again. But you talk about the pressure and handling that. George Padgett, again, he knew there would be nerves early. We'll see if Indy responds better in set 2. Set point right now for the Valkyries. As Abercrombie's able to loop it in, and a dominant first set victory for Orlando.
Orlando leads 1-0.
Abercrombie joining forces with an eye, leading Orlando to a set 1 win. Ignite got plenty of time to rally, though, the first match in franchise history. Together, Ren Athletics and Pro Volleyball Federation have a focus that extends beyond the game. We're growing the sport of volleyball, building community around the sport, and empowering our world-class female athletes with top-tier resources. Ren Athletics, the largest volleyball-only apparel company in the United States, is the official uniform and apparel partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation. From custom-designed player uniform, stylish off-court apparel, and an array of fan gear, Ren Athletics is the driving force behind it all. Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today, available exclusively at renathletics.com and provolleyballshop.com. All right, 1 set down for the Ignite, their first match in franchise history. Orlando looking like a more experienced team, 1 season, 1 match this season already under their belt. And it's the newcomer at setter, Shampoo Pornpon Goodpard out of Thailand. the 10th year pro, one of the best setters in the world with a world-class first set.
Yeah, she's such a quick thinker out on the court, and one of her nicknames in Thailand is being the brain of the Thailand national team. She's the one that gets everyone going, that's thinking through everything. She's been so impressive so far.
12 assists, Orlando very efficient, spreading the ball around to Anai, Abercrombie, and company. You mentioned the brain of the operation. She's the captain of the Thailand national team, and coming to America after playing internationally for years, recognizing the prowess of the PVF and leading her team to a 1-0 start and a set 1 win. Hilly will serve to start set 2 for the Ignite. It's a quick set in the middle and popped up by Murr. Chaich got it over. Orlando reloads with Schwan. That was blocked down. Back set, Abercrombie pushes down.
That was a great decision too by Shampoo to target Abercrombie there. Foster just got a little bit tangled up in the middle for Indy, and so targeting Abercrombie on the outside, knowing she probably wasn't going to get that block up on time.
Wise decision as that finds the net, and Orlando out in front, 2-0. Brings up Abby Hansen at the line. In her second year with Orlando, and an ace. Also a communication error there between member Mena and Chaich, part of the early rust of the season.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those so far, not only miscommunications, but maybe letting a couple of balls that drop in the court that shouldn't be let go.
Tip from Crawford, and that finds the floor to put the Ignite on the board here in set 2.
Yeah, Crawford just not doing too much, reading the block really well there. Really great to see for the rookie getting involved in the offense.
Second round pick in November, 16th overall by the Ignite. And Chaich lets it loose. Rocket serve, nearly an overpass, punched back over and out.
You mentioned that fiery personality from Kylie Murr before. You can see her being so vocal in every single huddle.
George Pageant says there's not captains, but everyone handles their own business. Kylie Murr is certainly part of the leadership core, if there was one, for Indy, as Orlando takes a 4-2 lead here in set 2. But that's part of the culture being established by the Ignite right now. They don't need captains, other professionals bossing around professionals. Everyone takes care of their business, and they really do enjoy each other. They found that out quickly over the first month of training camp. Schwan through the block. This dig from Murr on the backside, and Teeler is denied. Schwan and Brown combining for it.
You mentioned that culture a little bit for Indy and how they're a little bit of a young team, and for some that might be more challenging, having a lot of rookies on your team, but they like the different, how they're in the same life stages. A lot of them coming from college, they can relate to each other, and that's something that they really feed and bond off each other with.
Absolutely, just having someone similar age group goes a long way, especially if you're moving to a new part of the country. What a dive and a save there. Lekator member Mena got it. Orlando still with a chance, and Schwan, who rolls it down.
Seeing that hole in the court, deciding to go with a little bit more of a deceptive play with the roll shot.
Schwan's had a good night, coming off 10 kills, 12 digs, and the sweep of San Diego for Orlando. Schwan tonight with 4 kills. Abercrombie with 6 and 4 for Anai to lead the way for Orlando. Hilly chooses member Mena, and a wise choice.
And that all started in the back row with Chaich giving a great ball to Hilly at the net.
when Indy's able to stay in system for Hilly, that is huge. Hilly, an outstanding setter. A back set, and that is gorgeous from Brown on the slide.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why she's the returning middle blocker of the year.
No doubt. Brown played her collegiate volleyball at Kentucky last season in 2018. Big leap for Member Mena.
There's that heavy arm from Member Mena, and just looking at the way that she almost jumps out of the gym, the vertical going across the court.
We mentioned the speed that she can swing with. 65 miles an hour pretty consistently, as that lands just in for Orlando. 75 miles an hour is the fastest speed that George Pageant has seen. That was over in Turkey, but 65 consistently is still pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and still a hard serve is 40 to 45s, if that tells you anything.
Right. Tap back over, Orlando on top 8-4, back to Member Mena, and she is starting to roll here in set 2.
Yeah, she's heating up, and that connection between Hilly and Member Mena is becoming super strong.
Really takes pride in her energy. She doesn't want to just get 20 kills, but make her teammates feel the energy along with it. Really a team-based mindset as she serves now. Look at that serve. Almost an overpass and sets up the block chance for the Ignite.
Just all around great play by the Ignite in that point. And there's the defense that Coach Pageant is excited about this year.
Defensive, gritty, not the biggest team by size, but really scraps. It's a bump set. A 9 goes across the court. Murr met it. Back low and dug out. Well done by Schwann. Abercrombie. And off the hands of Teeler. Abercrombie has the answer for Orlando as the Ignite started to make a push.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many long rallies back and forth so far, but how about both of those setters, Hilly and Shampoo, running all over the court?
Active setters on a number of fronts. There's the slide from Moeller. We mentioned middle offense right off the top and how that could create balance. Indy needs more of that from Moeller.
Yeah, and that's why she's in the lineup tonight. The rookies in the middle are a little bit more defensive than Moeller is, but she's in there because that slide is really her bread and butter.
Has the experience playing in Germany, Switzerland, France after her collegiate career at Purdue. Block showing up again for the Ignite. CC Crawford in the mix, along with Jaich.
Yeah, great to see that rookie combination for the block. And you mentioned Jaich involved in it. She's only 5'11", a little undersized on the outside pin, but a big presence in the defense right there.
A lot of undersized players for the Ignite, but they can really jump to help negate that. One of those is Teeler. Saved by Shampoo. And a free ball back over. Down the ground goes Murphy. A 9, tip, saved. Taylor dove in. Abercrombie can't finish the job. Chaich. Abercrombie again. Push shot doesn't go. Kept up though. A dump over in beautiful fashion. What a rally.
These are the moments that this crowd has showed up for. Sydney Hilly answering the call, seeing that donut in the floor.
He's got that high IQ, and when in doubt, go back to the middle offense for Orlando. That was Hansen again.
Orlando.
10-9 Orlando after the Ignite rallied to tie. Anai will serve. This is clean. And Teeler found some net, maybe a block as well. Either way, it's Orlando point. Based on how the first set went, with Orlando taking it in dominant fashion, 25-13. Bria, this feels like a really critical sequence as we approach the midway point of set 2.
Yeah, it does. We've seen a little bit more longer rallies, more defensive plays and hustle on the side of Indy.
And Hilly going offensive once again. But you can tell that the Ignite's starting to settle in.
Yeah, and it's those nerves that we talked about. It's perfectly understandable for it to kind of take a little bit for those connections to really become solid, but Sydney Hilly with that calm presence.
Deep serve, it is in. Talk about perfect. Finding the line in the back corner, Bree.
Just dots the line, and I'm guessing if we see that high-tech technology that we were talking about before, it's barely going to show it on the back line.
Yeah, bolt 6, the technology just popped up on the big board and definitely in. Clean dig from Murphy. A tip towards that donut and well located by Anai.
Yeah, Anai just looks so calm when it comes to transition pieces, especially coming off of an Indy out of system play.
5th kill for Anai. Back row, Member Mena sledgehammers it down.
Member Mena just reminding Orlando that no matter where she is on the court, you always have to keep track of her.
She'll remind you real quick. In-system chance, and that is too easy for Kaz Brown.
Love that quick set piece to Brown there. And taking that outside angle, too. Looked like she was going to go straight down the middle, but goes more toward the line.
Some deception. Orlando hitting 347. And Member Mena is having a whale of a second set.
Member Mena climbing up to 9 kills already, hitting 50%.
Really efficient 4 digs to boot. Swan found the right spot. Yes, based on position, you know who the go-tos are going to be, but you're really starting to see them emerge for both sides, especially on the Ignite side with Lekator. Back to her. And she converts again.
If it's not broken, I mean, don't fix it, the old adage, and I have a feeling that Sydney Hilly is going to keep going to Member Mena until Orlando figures something out.
Elena Scott gets a big round of applause serving for the second time. It's a free ball. Good chance for the Ignite to take the lead. Member Mena got it done again.
And like you said, that opportunity for Member Mena created by Elena Scott. And we've seen a lot of rookies come in with those nerves in serving and really having to have those nerves, but a perfect serve for Elena Scott.
Ends up with Member Mena giving the Ignite the lead midway through set 2. USA Volleyball is a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation with more than 400,000 members nationwide. USA Volleyball is committed to supporting the volleyball community and growing the game. Learn more and become a member at usavolleyball.org. Brittany Abercrombie and the Orlando Valkyries on top 1-0 in the first match ever for the Indy Ignite here at the Fishers Event Center, just northeast of Indianapolis. Glad to have you with us. Jack Kaiser with Bria Losick. Indy playing much better here in set 2. Up top, it's Member Mena having a big second set, and that continues out of the timeout.
The roll shot to the middle. Love that for Member Mena. She's shown the power on the outside. Why not mix it up a little bit?
And those are her parents in attendance tonight. Member Mena not able to save it from a 9.
Kenneth Brown serving.
Just got to look at around Scott's parents. Here's the serve from Orlando. And a dump over from Hilly once again. Her offense is really starting to pick up.
Yeah, another setter dump going up, looking like she's going to set, and then just takes that left hand right at the last second, right into the middle of the court.
So with Hilly and Member Mena leading the way, the Igniter on top by 2. At first to 25. A 9 blocked, punch back over. Chaich. A diving save, Chaich got there. Indy scrambles back into position. Abercrombie over the top, and the finesse of Abercrombie results in a point once again.
And that's where she really demonstrates all of her tools. You mentioned how she can really hit any angle and with any velocity too.
Chaich the target, blocked. Murr cleans up. Back to Chaich. Saved by Murphy. Clean dig for Member Mena, and Hilly is causing all kinds of problems with her dump overs.
Yeah, Hilly, really the silent assassin here on the court for Indy. Never really expected, even though she's gone to it now 3 times.
She's so analytical, and her mind is moving a million miles per hour all the time, but she's able to slow it to a point to really process information in the right way on the volleyball court. As Orlando's able to answer and get within 1.
Yeah, and a lot of that analytical view for Hilly has to do with what she majored in college, genetics and genomics. Also worked in biotechnology, so she's pretty smart there on the court.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad swing for CeCe Crawford sliding. The Ignite in control here, late set 2.
Yeah, she's gotten much better off of 1 foot, especially in her last season of college at Wisconsin. She's only 6'2", but she plays much bigger than that.
Absolutely. Her last 3 years of college at Wisconsin, wet spot being wiped up. George Padgett was really excited about, again, the culture, but the draft, too. He thought they killed the draft. That's what he told us yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, and they did. Getting that Louisville pair was huge in the first and second round. You hear every single time that Elena Scott is at the service line, the Fishers Event Center just erupts even just a little bit more than it already is.
Definitely gotten more vocal here in the second set as Indy's played better and settled into their first match in franchise history. Got a block, send down. Might have a challenge here. That was the horn. All you need to do is press a button on a tablet. The horn will sound at any point. We've got some kind of challenge coming. Initial point given to Indy. And Amy Pauley is over to have a conversation about it, along with Brittany Abercrombie. Looking for anything off here. The net started to shake, and net contact is something that is challengeable. After a conversation, still Ignite point, and they're on top 20-17. Off the chip, off the block. Teeler across the way. Tight to the net. Hansen sets it. Schwann's push goes nowhere. It's a timeout for Orlando. Bria, what have you seen different here for the Ignite in set 2?
I mean, so many different connections are starting to form a little bit more. Member Mena has absolutely went off for Indy so far. 12 kills. And just again, those nerves. You see a complete flip-flop from that first set. 25-13 in favor of the Valkyries. How about Indy up by 4, getting into that red zone first.
Yeah, red zone past 20. Complete flip from set 1. We've got all the Indy mascots here. There's Blue. We saw Pepper, the Ignite mascot, dancing earlier, joining in on the festivities.
And that really speaks to the sports community in Indianapolis, and that's something that the Indy Ignite players have gotten to be a part of in the off-season and coming into this season as well. They went to a Fever game. They've been to some local high school volleyball games. Got to go onto the field at the Colts game a couple weeks back. Really coming into their own as one of 8 professional teams now in Indianapolis.
The Indy Fuel, one of them. You see Nitro. They play here at the Fishers Event Center. And opened in November. It is gorgeous. Got to make it out. Abercrombie sails it long. So the Ignite really closing in on closing territory here. 22-17. Their largest lead in any set so far. Back to Abercrombie. The Ignite has established a better block in front of her recently. Off the dig. Quick push from Shampoo. Can't locate it well enough.
I like the idea from Shampoo, though, trying to push it out to the area of the court that no one was, but just a little bit too far.
And another timeout called by Orlando with the Ignite closing in. This would be the first set dropped by Orlando all year. Now they're only in match number 2, but still, they swept San Diego and took the first in comfortable fashion. It's a quick timeout with Amy Pauley giving the instructions, the former associate head coach at USC. A bunch of the Orlando players have West Coast connections. No surprise with Pauley being the associate head coach there. A phenomenal recruiter and one of the best liberos in Alabama history, graduating back in 2009.
One thing about Pauley, though, she did grow up near Chicago, has those Midwest roots in her, and she definitely likes that blue-collar type of play that Midwest volleyball brings.
Yeah, I'm sure she's happy to be back in the Midwest for this one tonight. Fans enjoying the break. Sold out with 7,500 in attendance tonight. Off the AO chant. Ignite closing in on set point. 2 points away. Abercrombie sends it down. Valkyries have a long way to go in this set. But like we mentioned for the Ignite at the end of set one, perhaps they find momentum, even if they don't take the set, as Brown rotates back in.
For Orlando, Foster to serve.
And here's Natalie Foster. She's got a wicked serve coming out of SMU. 64 aces last year. That was a program record. Now I got a call on it. Schwann really flew in for it. Chaich over the top. Orlando sets up. Abercrombie, the push and down.
Brittany Abercrombie. Point, Orlando.
Bria, we've seen the power of Lecator member Mena for the Ignite this set, and also the finesse on the Orlando side.
Yeah, Abercrombie has really gone more for the roll shots, the tips. Trying to get a little bit fancy.
The power of Chaich doesn't pay off, but Taylor able to tool the block and give the Ignite their first ever set point.
For the Ignite,
Everyone getting on their feet here in the Fishers Event Center for the first time.
Abercrombie goes across the court, and it's out. Set two goes to Indy. And the match is all even, one set apiece. What a response.
Just night and day for the Ignite in set number two, losing 25-13 in that first set, and then taking it in a little bit more of dominant fashion in the second set. You kind of see what head coach George Pageant was talking about a little bit, those pieces he was excited about, and now we're talking to him.
Yeah, putting on the headset. All right, Coach, appreciate your time. And after the first set, what adjustments did you make going into set two?
I just told them to have some fun. I mean, this is supposed to be enjoyable, and they're out there just getting the nerves out a little bit, getting the butterflies out. A lot of things that we haven't seen in practice all year were happening, and I think they just took it to heart and came out, played more normal volleyball for them. We're playing against a really good team in Orlando. I expect this to be a battle all night. I think our players responded really well.
Yeah, one of those players, Lecator member Mena, she went off in that second set. What did you see from her?
Sid just saw a good matchup with her and their setter, and Lek is dynamic. You get her rolling, she's tough to stop. I'm excited we're going to continue to go down that path if we can. So she's very dynamic.
And Brittany Abercrombie for Orlando has made her presence felt so far in the match. How would you like to see your team defend her going forward?
You know, just a little more discipline. We're still a little bit hectic defensively. We're not putting together runs of defensive effort at the net, both front line, back line. It's not succinct. It's a little bit haphazard. And right now, I just think if we can be a little more of ourselves and a little less in the moment, I guess, we'll be better off.
Certainly looked poised in that second set. Coach, appreciate the time.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks.
What a night. We're having a blast here at the Fishers Event Center. Together, Franklin Sports and Pro Volleyball Federation are shaking up the world of volleyball. Franklin is the provider of the Real Pro Volleyball, the exclusive ball of Pro Volleyball Federation, and the ultimate volleyball for our world-class professionals. You can get your Franklin Real Pro Volleyball today at franklinsports.com. And we are so glad to have you with us back at the Fishers Event Center. We are all even, one set apiece. The first match in the Indy Ignite's franchise's history. Jack Kaiser alongside Bria Losick. We just spoke with the head coach for the Ignite, George Pageon, and he was happy with the poise, the adjustment that they made in that second set.
Yeah, he was, especially leaning on players like Member Mena. I mean, she has been electric, almost hitting 400 in that second set.
Yeah, she was really finding her rhythm. As for Orlando, they've been balanced, right? We've talked about Shampoo at that setter position for the Valkyries. She's really running the show at this point.
Yeah, you look at some of the highlights for Orlando. Out of the back row, Abercrombie all over the place. I mean, she can hit it anywhere on the court. So balanced on both sides.
There's Member Mena getting in on the action. Set 2 was the big one for her. And Chaich stuffed by Hansen there. In set 2, after a dominant set 1 for Orlando, you could tell there were some nerves from Indy. It was the Member Mena show. Midway through is when they really started to make their mark and pulled away late.
Yeah, they just look a lot more poised in that second set. The connection starting to come through. You see going line there. A lot of back row attacks as well. Even great out of system.
The environment got pretty raucous at set point. That one sailing wide from Abercrombie, and Orlando will now have to adjust to what the Ignite have done. You see the efficiency. It was so high for Orlando in set 1. They're still leading the Ignite significantly, but everything is really evened up after that much more competitive second set.
Yeah, it's been a tale of those two sets, like you said. Orlando really taking it in the first set, efficiency-wise, but Ignite steadily coming through and getting a lot of those pieces working.
And some of those stats for the Ignite skewed as well with how poorly they were playing early on, just with the atmosphere and everything, trying to get used to the situation. Found their footing real quick and looking sharp right now. Tied 1 set apiece. The third set on the way here at the Fishers Event Center. Orlando in the Ignite in Indy's first match in franchise history. Pro Volleyball proudly invests in the next generation of leaders by partnering with the nonprofit organization Girl Talk. Through peer-to-peer mentoring, Girl Talk works to help all girls gain practical leadership experience. Girls interested in starting a Girl Talk club or joining one of the 100 existing clubs across the nation can visit mygirltalk.org. So many young girls in attendance tonight watching heroes really develop in front of their eyes. And the first match in franchise history for the Ignite. The PVF is new, their first season last year. Volleyball is exploding across the country, and a sold-out Fishers Event Center is proof that the PVF, the elite league in the country, is just a great place to come have a good time, watch some volleyball, and inspire some young girls as well.
Yeah, talking about all the little girls in the crowd in this game, all the girls watching this game. I mean, if you think about it, only a couple decades ago, there were no women's sports at all. But I don't know a world without women's sports. So now we have another generation coming forward that won't know a world without women's professional volleyball in the U.S. It's just brick by brick, really laying the foundation for women's sports and volleyball, specifically here in the U.S.
Absolutely, as we're now joined by Orlando head coach Amy Pauley. Coach, you came out red hot in that first set. What did you like early from your team?
I liked our aggressiveness. I thought in the first set we served a little bit tougher. We were getting on the ball faster, playing on the edges, and we went away from that in the second set. We had a nice little lead, and we kind of stopped doing the little things. So we've got to get back to being aggressive. We're a pretty strong team. We got big arms. We got to use them.
What other adjustments are you looking for in set number 3?
You know, we spun the dial here to try to get a different matchup on Lekator. She obviously had a great second set there. They made a great adjustment in setting her a ball that she could kind of OT our block. So kudos to her. So we'll see if we can slow her down a little bit this set.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time and good luck.
Thank you.
Big time second set for her. Lekator member Mena. 12 kills, hitting 381. Just for perspective, for those that don't know, if you're hitting over 300, that's really, really good. Jampu running the show for Orlando, one of the best setters in the world. Chaich got the first swing of set number 3 for the Ignite. It feels like she's the next domino to fall for this Ignite team, for the offense to get really going.
Yeah, and that's her first kill of the night. She's been targeted a lot by Hilly, but that little give and go there, getting the confidence up for Chaich.
She once had 42 kills in the match. She is explosive. That falls for Orlando's first point.
Yeah, that was against Western Michigan. Her time at Tennessee, 42 kills.
That's absurd.
Single game record for the Volunteers.
And she did it in 4 sets, not even 5. Swan serves. Off the net, out of system, and a push to the back corner. Well done. Murphy able to save. A nice second try, dug out by Murr. And a big time swing for Taylor.
Just looking on this replay here, the back set to Taylor. Hilly's recognition, knowing that she's there, and head coach George Pageant says that Hilly really isn't the flashiest when it comes to her style of play. Some might even say it's a little bit boring of a style, but he says that's the way he likes it. She doesn't try to do too much.
Boring but efficient. It has worked for her throughout her career. Out of the back row, Chaich. Orlando got a piece. Hilly reloads. Off the tip, well done on the changeup by member Mena.
Member Mena showing all the tools that she has. Again, only 5'8" on the outside, but that doesn't stop her. She says, if you think small, then you play small. She's a big personality.
A couple of big personalities on the team, but she wants to make her presence felt for sure. That's what Kaz Brown is starting to do in the middle for Orlando. The more touches for her, the better.
Yeah, Kaz Brown off that quick set in the middle. Usually the slide is where she shines, but that was beautiful in the middle there.
And played her college ball at Kentucky. Most blocks in UK history. Tough swing for a nigh. A nice dig by Chaich. Overpass. Lekator member Mena had it dug out. A piece on the block. It's a bump set. Taylor. And out of bounds.
Orlando.
A reminder that Orlando's already played this year on Thursday. 1-0 this season, swept San Diego. Ignite just took set 2 after a dominant set 1 for the Valkyries. Back to Taylor.
And that play all starts with Chaich in the back row. Just want to give a little shout out to her, even though she has only had 1 kill. I mean, I know we just mentioned that first kill to start out the set, excuse me. But she's been working in the back row, just clean receptions.
All starts with serve and pass. You talk to any coach about the most critical factors in a match. They always lead with that, serving and passing. And that has been much cleaner for the Ignite since the start of the second set. CeCe Crawford. Dick Chaich. Abercrombie. Nice bounce off the tape and down.
Abercrombie with the kill for Orlando.
She was the #4 recruit in the country out of high school in Southern California, between LA and San Diego and Carlsbad. Went to USC, All-American as a senior, overseas until joining the PVF this year. Couple of pancakes and a punch. How did that stay up? Locked back down, reload for the Ignite, and they pay it off with Taylor on the right side again.
Chaos all around on both sides. The defensive effort there by Orlando to keep the ball up. But then on the other side, just being able to terminate right in the middle.
Taylor raced in for it. Ember Mena with a sideways spin off the block. Her force is really being felt alongside Taylor. 9 kills for Taylor, 13 from Ember Mena. Off the roll. Never got enough to give the Ignite fans some hope, but not able to get it back over. 7-5. See Kevin Bowen, Jake Query, a couple of local media personalities in attendance courtside tonight. And that's the second straight point for Orlando. Off the tip from Moeller, out of bounds. Dora Anai, reminder out of Utah. Played internationally until last season in Greece, Ukraine, Puerto Rico, Turkey, South Korea. She was everywhere. And Bria, something that Indy has found here in the third set is the balance with Taylor on the right side.
Yeah, even setting her out of the back row too. That D ball. Taylor starting to find her way as well.
Wherever she's been here in the third set, she's been effective. And there's a service error from Ember Mena.
Point for the Valkyries. Abby Hansen serving.
Back to Hansen at the service line. Quick dump over from Hilly. Has Orlando out of sorts, but the Schwann swing. And Taylor able to cap it off. You heard the horn. Looks like a challenge is coming once again. Right now, Indy point. 2 challenges per set. You win it, you keep it. In that regard, unlimited challenges. Also a difference here in the PVF. You get 8 substitutions permitted per set. It's 15 in the NCAA. Nothing standing out there. Thought I saw 4 fingers go up from Brittany Abercrombie. 4 touches is something that is challengeable. So conversation being had on both sides as they check out whatever the challenge was. Now Abercrombie's talking to Hilly.
I don't know if we hit the buzzer late or it was
Rare that you actually see 2 players exchange during a conversation with the referee.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen that before.
We've talked about the leadership of member Mena and Murr, but Hilly, you could argue, is the cornerstone of this team. Looking back for any violation over this past rally. Kept up cleanly there. Perhaps Hilly touched the net. Maybe a foot fault from Teeler out of the back row. And I'm pretty sure the horn went off before that. Did you see anything, Bria? Floor touch is the question.
Yeah, my initial thought was maybe on that back row attack that she came over the line before she took off, but this is a very extended play that we're seeing.
Did it touch the floor here? Now, I don't necessarily know why that would matter, since the Ignite ended up getting the point anyway. The point's awarded to Orlando. So perhaps that is not what they were looking at. Again, we're right with you trying to break down the situation based on body language and what's relayed to us. Now it's Indy point.
And now they're motioning to the crowd. Okay, guys, let's get into this.
I didn't really see a scenario how that could possibly end up Orlando point, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure, especially because they kept looking at to see if there was a floor touch.
Which
It
was on
Orlando's
Orlando's side. Yes. And Teeler finished the point for Indy anyway. So it's 9-7 Ignite after all of that. And we're squared away. At least we think so. Blake Moeller getting ready to serve. 5 years at Purdue, her last season in 2019. She actually played for Orlando last year, so playing against her old team. But had a bad hip injury a couple of weeks into the season and had to get surgery. In the middle, it's Brown. And the line drive goes long, no touch. Back to Moeller, who also had hip surgery post-playing career at Purdue. She joked, hey, I've got 2 new hips, so I'm good to go for 30 years. Into the net, Ignite rolling with Moeller at the service line.
Cece Crawford has really seemed to establish herself defensively, reading that well there, and just talking a little bit about Moeller too. She's started to implement Pilates actually into her routine post-hip surgery. She says it helps a lot.
Trying to do anything she can to stay healthy and flexible. Dig for member Mena. Back set. Taylor sends it down.
So many things to like on that play. Member Mena with the up and Teeler from the back row going cross court. The angle that she got there.
Substitution, Lindsay Vanderwaal.
She has got a heavy arm. Another Kentucky product. Won a national title in the spring of 2021. And with the rhythm of Teeler, 12 kills. Moeller still serving. Ignite on top by 5. Much needed answer for Abercrombie, who's been a little bit quiet recently after a great start to the match.
Brittany Abercrombie just
Yeah, when you need a side out, you know to go to your vet in Abercrombie.
13 kills, 370 for Abercrombie. Overpass, the joust won by Hilly. Center doing some work. And eventually pounded down. That was Lindsay Vanderweide.
Smart of Shampoo to set Vanderweide on that, especially seeing how Hilly had to win that joust at the net and then race all the way around to the outside to get up for the block.
Member Mena from the back row. That's just fun to watch.
Head coach George Pageant called her speed and power blistering, and I can't think of a better word to describe that.
A great one. Pretty incredible she thought about hanging it up in 2020 after an injury. Desire crept in to go to the transfer portal after playing at Missouri. Ended up with one more year at Pittsburgh. That's his history. Now a great pro. What a dig. Member Mena got it. And Chaich finds the back line, or did she? It's ruled out. And Bolt 6 does confirm that it was out of bounds.
Lindsay Vanderwaal.
The acrobatics, though, on that play from Member Mena.
Gave him a chance. Vanderweide serves. In system, Hilly, Teeler, off the head. Look out upstairs.
And she automatically looks to the other side of the court and says, "Are you okay?" Making sure she knows it's not personal.
Again, with the speed, the athleticism that is unrivaled that we have here in the PVF, can get a little dangerous sometimes. Down the line, what a dig from Murr, anticipating. Shampoo goes to a nigh. Dig for Member Mena again. Chaich through the block. Shampoo got to it. Abercrombie cross court.
Joe Brittany Abercrombie. Point, Orlando. Gals Brown, serving for the Valkyries.
Abercrombie helping keep Orlando in touch here about midway through set 3. Set 2 win for the Ignite. 25-19. Orlando took set 1 25-13. Cross court sails out from Member Mena. And Orlando within 2.
A couple of hitting errors and a little bit of miscommunication in the last couple of points for the Ignite, allowing Orlando to kind of creep up a little bit.
There's no doubt, though, that the communication errors have improved since that first set when they did look a little bit frazzled, as George Pageant told us. 15-12, the Ignite, the first to 15, sending us to break. The first match in franchise history, and the Ignite tied at 1 set apiece with a slight edge here in set 3. Stay with us. Together, Ren Athletics and the Pro Volleyball Federation have a focus that extends beyond the game. We're growing the sport of volleyball, building community around the sport, and empowering our world-class female athletes with top-tier resources. Ren Athletics, the largest volleyball-only apparel company in the United States, is the official uniform and apparel partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation. From custom-designed player uniforms, stylish off-court apparel, and an array of fan gear, Ren Athletics is the driving force behind it all. Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today, available exclusively at renathletics.com and provolleyballshop.com. Beautiful look of downtown Indianapolis. We are in Fishers, northeast of Indy. The beautiful Fishers Event Center just opened in November. We've got suites, we've got a sold-out crowd. Different pro mascots in attendance tonight. It has been fantastic. And the block has really improved for the Ignite throughout the course of this match, Bria.
Yeah, Blake Moeller getting fired up on that last play. The middles were the question going into this game for the Ignite, but I've been really impressed by them.
A 9. It's wide. The Ignite with 2 straight out of the timeout. You mentioned the middles being the question. Crawford, one of them, about to serve. To a certain degree, everything was a question coming into tonight, and slowly starting to find answers in the first match in franchise history. Off the top of the block, kept up by Teeler. Back to her. And goes right down the gut. 18-12, Indy. So timeout for Orlando, sensing set 3 slipping away. We've talked about the power and the presence of Lecator member Mena, but how about a Johnny Teeler this match as well?
Yeah, she's really come on as of late, especially in the back row. I mean, I love how Hilly has really been varying up the looks, but so many back row attacks from all of her hitters.
We've seen Teeler all over the place. 14 kills. Along with 15 for Lecator member Mena. Those have been the 2 go-tos. So that's a happy huddle that you just saw with George Padgett. And perhaps a confused huddle right now for Orlando, looking for answers against a surging Ignite team. But Orlando is expected to be much better this season. 8-16 last year. Only 24 matches in the PVF last year with 7 teams. You play each team 4 times. So with 8 teams, do the math, 28 now. Expected to jump up to second, according to the preseason poll, with, yes, the returning players, but the key additions like Abercrombie and Shampoo out of Thailand.
Yeah, we've seen how they've been able to work together, even in just 2 matches now coming into this season. It's been really impressive.
Swept San Diego Thursday. But in trouble here. In the Ignite's first ever match. 1 set apiece, 18-12, Indy in set 3. Teeler with a deep swing. Bump set from Georgia Murphy to Abercrombie. That was dug out by Chaich. She's been great defensively. And Teeler tools the block. You can hear the fans starting to get in with the chants during the point. Just barely out.
Yeah, and when things are going right, they just kind of keep going that way, especially for Indy on that point. Cece Crawford at the line now, but she had to set it out of system, a little tight to the net, but it just works out.
Indy's made a lot of different situations work, and again, look out high on Cece Crawford from that swing. So back to Shampoo. That's what they call her. Gudpard is her last name out of Thailand. There's Moeller in the middle. They've gotten just enough from her offensively.
Yeah, she's been electric offensively, really a leader in that middle one position. Again, that was up in the air. They didn't know if they were going to go with the rookies or not, but Moeller has just been such a steadying presence.
Crawford 3 kills, Moeller 2 kills. Moeller involved in the block as well. Here's the block for Indy, but it goes out of bounds off the Ignite. Indy still in control on top by 6 as they are the first to the red zone. And I had 21 aces last year. That was second in the PVF. Up serve handled well. Pancake keeps it up from Murphy. Another dump from Hilly. Orlando ready. That is pure power from Member Mena.
All of the pieces coming together on that play. Perfect set out of system for Elena Scott. She's a rookie. She's one of the most anticipated players coming out of college. One of the best liberos that we've seen as of late. And she looks right at home here.
She does, and Ignite fans have reason to be excited with Scott and her Louisville duo partner, Anna DeBeer, who is out on the injured reserve right now. Hoping to get her back in a few weeks. An electric player out of Louisville, that outside spot. Everything clicking for the Ignite on top by 8.
An ace for Member Mena off of that blistering serve. How fast can that get up to?
Serving, high 40s, low 50s. When she gets her legs into it on the regular attack swings, consistently in the mid-60s, which is absurd. Tight push, Member Mena on the overpass, kept it alive. And Abercrombie able to terminate for Orlando. We talked about how the Valkyries were picked to finish second in a preseason poll, with the Ignite being a brand new team, picked 4th. Again, speaking to the talent that they've acquired going into their first season. That is out, and the Ignite creep closer to 25. More subbing, and it's Anise Havili serving for the first time tonight. Out of Fort Worth, Texas, volunteer assistant coach at Purdue a couple of years ago. Diving save, Scott. Shaich. Murphy couldn't corral. Set point. And a service error. A momentary buzzkill from Havili. Moeller will come in for Havili as the Valkyries are in real trouble right now. Trying to find something before we go to set 4, but the Ignite on the brink of taking a 2-set-to-1 lead. Best 3 out of 5. Fans on their feet. But we gotta wait. Got the signal, everything good to go. Now the fans back to making noise and booing Abercrombie. Over the top, punched up. Nice swing from Brown, better dig, Member Mena. Swing to the back row and too hot.
Member Men has been good tonight, great even, but just a little bit too much on that one.
16 kills for, hitting 0 for 350 and 15 from Teeler. That's been the combination. No other player close to double-figure kills for the Ignite. Brief stoppage in play. They might be taking a look at this. So off the swing from Member Mena, the Ignite asking for a touch on the block. Nothing definitive there, and the point given to Orlando officially now.
Set point number 3.
Can't track it down. Set 3 to Indy.
Ignite wins set further 25-17 and leads 2 sets to 1.
Just look at this place. It's on fire right now. Lekator, Member Mena, Kylie Murr, and the Indy Ignite. If they take set 4, they win their first match in franchise history. Stars showing out in this one. Lekator, Member Mena leading all players tonight for the Indy Ignite, their first ever match with 17 kills. Really got it going in set 2. And then Brittany Abercrombie, spectacular bria for Orlando.
Yeah, you talk about Member Mena coming on in set number 2. Half of those 17 kills came in that second set. 2 star players for both sides.
And we mentioned that Member Mena almost hung it up after an injury in 2020. Decided to keep playing, go one more year at Pittsburgh. She's got an amazing story. Her parents fled from war in Nigeria to America with their 7 kids. And then Lekator, the 8th kid, was then born in America. So coming from that background, almost giving up volleyball because of the injury, giving it one more shot with Pittsburgh, having a great season, and then going pro, playing in an environment like this now. Remarkable that she's in this position. The Ignite in position to win the match if they win set 4. And Chaich was blocked down. The first point to Orlando here in the 4th.
The Orlando block, seeing that one through by Chaich. I'd like to see her tool off the block a little bit more.
She's gone power most of the time. That's been her answer with 2 kills so far tonight. It's Teeler is sideways spinning down back to Indy. Pinballing and a free ball back. In the middle, Crawford is denied. 2 blocks for Orlando to start the 4th.
Again, to start out this 4th set, Orlando already establishing the block really early on.
Doubling up Indian block so far, 6-3. Cross court, nice dig by Vanderwijk. Abercrombie, was there a touch? No. Point to Indy. So if this is your first time watching professional volleyball, a reminder, it's 1st to 25, sets 1 through 4. If we go to a 5th, it's 1st to 15. And the Pro Volleyball Federation in its 2nd season of existence, as Schwann is able to send that down. Indy Ignite, the 8th team, the only new team added to the PVF this year. We expect more expansion moving forward. Got all the tech. Great compensation for these athletes. They're really taken care of. Elite volleyball and a great chance for awesome American players to stay home when they used to have to go to Europe.
And how about that $1 million prize at the end of it too?
That helps too. Only the top 4 teams out of 8 make the playoffs. And that winning team gets the $1 million to split. Omaha was the champion last year. Cross court and the dig from Hilly. Back to Abercrombie. Off the top of the block, Chaich chased down. Across the court, Member Mena. That was a heck of a set. Schwann, full throttle. And the dig from Member Mena. Now swings. Another dig. Schwann got it. And Taylor terminates.
Back set to Teeler, finding that back line. Really can't get any more pretty than that. Just clinical.
It's another great word to describe Hilly. Analytical, thoughtful, been clinical throughout her career. First season with the Ignite. What are you gonna say about that swing from Member Mena? You can't stop it.
She unloaded every ounce of herself into that.
17 kills through 3 sets. That her first of the 4th. Crawford serving. Back row, Chaich powers through.
Chaich really coming alive on that one. I also want to give a shout out to Cece Crawford with the cover on the block that led her to that opportunity.
We've mentioned her a few times tonight. She's quietly had a really solid performance. There's the block from Moeller, and Taylor waving on the crowd.
And that was anything but quiet. And you see the personalities really starting to come out for Indy.
George Pageant said, gotta have some fun, guys. After a first set loss, I think they're having fun now.
Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by Smoke Nut.
Last 2 sets to the Ignite, and on top 5-3 early in set 4. Upcoming matches for Indy. Next one at home against Grand Rapids. That should be another special one here at the Fishers Event Center.
Yeah, breast cancer awareness night here. And that's always a special one. Everyone has a personal connection to that, unfortunately. And that's one thing about the Indy Ignite organization and the work that they've done. Every single game, home game, has some sort of theme, some sort of cause that they pay tribute to, and it's really special.
Get your tickets. I mean, this place is special. Obviously, what the team is doing right now is pretty special tonight. This place has been electric. The Fishers Event Center, it is comfortable, yet at the same time, you feel like you're right on top of the court. Got concerts here. We got Cirque du Soleil coming soon. Blake Shelton in March. Come watch the Ignite as well.
We got the fire starters too.
Yep. The dance team for the Ignite. Even the Purdue block party standing courtside to help add to the atmosphere. Really the entire state rallying around this team, this new franchise. Dug out for the back row. The swing from Chayich. And it got a double hit on Orlando. There are the fire starters.
It's just a comprehensive effort by everyone in this organization. So many different moving parts, especially on the marketing side.
Gotta give a lot of credit to co-owners Jim Schumacher, Don Hutchinson, President, General Manager Mary Kay Hughes for setting this up right. And the product's been fantastic. It's going to be in the PVF, but the fan experience as well.
Substitution for Orlando.
It is 7-4 Ignite. A substitution with Abercrombie going to the bench for now. And Hannah Pukas, backup setter coming in to serve, signed with Orlando over the summer after getting drafted 3rd overall by Vegas last year. A former 2-time All-American at Oregon. Member Mena just goes right through that stonewall block. Feels like nothing can contain her right now.
Member Mena involved in every part of that play with the reception off the tight serve to the line. Then gets the monster kill to end it.
Indy +7 in digs right now. Their defense has been fantastic. Moeller sends it down.
And there she is, going off 1 foot, just like she's known for.
Puts Teeler at the line. And too strong with the service error. 4 service errors for Orlando tonight and just 3 for Indy. Orlando the beneficiary of 10 service errors from San Diego in 3 sets. A sweep for the Valkyries Thursday. Back to all reliable here.
I mean, what can't she do? She just has such a heavy arm. Going a little bit down line, not quite, but getting a little bit of an angle on there, right down on the logo.
Just lets it go on her serves, too. Big for Teeler. Bump set. And play halted. A challenge coming. A net touch being asked for by Orlando. Again, when you hear the horn in the middle of the point, all it takes is the touch of a tablet to challenge. Play is stopped and the challenge proceeds. The net was shaking perhaps it came before. But on that reach over, it didn't seem like there was contact. Did you see any, Bria?
No, I didn't. It did look like it was already shaking before the blockers went up.
Looked like it was shaking from perhaps the initial serve.
Orlando is challenging when there was a net.
Nothing there. This should hold up. Meanwhile, the fans are doing the wave in the Fishers Event Center. They've gotten more boisterous as the night has gone on.
Point to the Ignite.
Point Ignite. And Amy Pauley upset about something. Fans keeping it entertaining during the break. Back to it. Cross court, much needed for Orlando. Haven't said Lydia Groth's name very much, but a kill off the bench for her.
Yeah, she came in as a blocking sub versus the San Diego Mojo, but the Minnesota product on the right side getting it done.
17th overall pick in this year's draft. Lockdown on Indy's side. Orlando trying to rally. It's go time right now. You're already down 2-1. Indy has commanded the match really since midway through set 2. And they're closing in on 15 quick. Taylor. And it's a violation on Indy with the swing. Looks like they went too far over the net. Chaid now. Vanderweide tools the block, and Orlando starting to rally.
Yeah, Indy really needing a side out here. Orlando with 3 straight points, and there you go with the timeout.
Ignite will try to collect themselves as Orlando tries to claw back in, pick up their second win to open the season after sweeping San Diego. High expectations for that group coming into the season, picked second in the preseason poll. And every match is really magnified. You get 28, a season that runs from January to the first couple days of May. Everyone really starts to count. Now you get each team 4 times, so even if Orlando does fall, they'll have a chance to redeem themselves against Indy, vice versa as well. But a fun season format for the expanded PVF this year with the addition of the Ignite. Getting 1 first place vote, Atlanta the preseason favorite. After finishing first in the standings last year at 19-6, although they did not win the championship. That was Omaha. Rhea, we can't wait to watch all this unfold throughout the next few months.
And we're not the only ones. I mean, you mentioned Omaha there. They just set an attendance record for PVF. Over 13,000 fans were in the CHI Center just last night.
Bowler goes into the net. You're telling me that volleyball's popular in Nebraska?
I mean, just a little bit. I mean, 92,003 might ring a bell.
Volleyball Day in Nebraska. That really started this whole charge. There's a service error to stop the momentum from Orlando. Volleyball has been fast-paced and fun for a long time, but really getting more exposure starting with that match in the football stadium, 92,000 on Volleyball Day in Nebraska to open fall of 23. Record ratings, including the PVF over the last couple of years. Double contact on Indy. It's 12-11 now. Orlando has climbed back in. And it's Lydia Groth, who's been part of it, now serving. Last 2 seasons in college at Minnesota, but started at California. Member Mena from the back row, and it's in.
So much power, so much passion you see there. That back row attack from Member Mena is so strong throughout.
Whether it's been her or Teeler from the back row, it has worked very well. And that block working for the Ignite. Crawford and Teeler combining. Now Hilly serving. Chase down try, and Teeler slows up. Came up a little bit lame, but looks like she's good. Walking back onto the Terraflex. You mentioned Anna DeBeer's out with injury. Want to keep everybody healthy, especially early in the season, but looks like she's good.
Yeah, she's gone all out, and even off the court, as you see there, that's all part of that gritty mentality, especially defensively, that we've talked about with Indy.
That's what George Patchen really loves about his team. That's the volleyball style he likes to see. Crawford in the middle this time. For the first to 15. An efficiency rate climbing. Ignite climbing closer to their first win in franchise history. 10 points away. You love to see the cross-sport support from other professional franchises. Kenny Moore right there, Colts in attendance, sitting courtside for the first match in franchise history for the Ignite. 10 points away from a win. On top 2-1. Lekator Member Mena's been the star tonight for the Ignite. Third try here. What an up. That was Chaich. Miscommunication, Hilly able to salvage, and a free ball back. In system for Orlando. Hilly sets up to Lekator Member Mena, who is blocked.
That might have been one of the most exciting rallies that we've seen all match. I mean, the defense on both sides running around, resulting in the block there by Orlando. Natalie Foster coming in as a sub. She's really been a good piece so far.
hybrid float top spin serve, hard to handle. Indy handles it well there. Push was snuffed out. Back to member Mena. That bounced off Grow right over the top of Vanderweide. Fortunate bounce for the Ignite. Now on top 16-13.
Serving for Indy.
Here's Crawford. And the slide from Brown is denied.
Moeller and member Mena had their eyes on her the entire time. The side-to-side footwork to get there. Member Mena getting that stuff.
Got all of it. Tapped up and over, barely. Big swing and a kill. 23 kills for the budding superstar in the PVF.
I mean, she has been unreal, hitting at a 340 clip as well. Member Mena going to be a staple here in Indy.
In Indy, perhaps nationally. That's how good she can be. Efficient tonight, like you said, 23 kills. As Indy started to get going in set 2, Lekator member Mena was the catalyst.
Yeah, from all areas of the court too. See the back row attack there, but she is targeted so many times throughout this entire match. 47 total attacks.
Leading Indy by a wide margin. It's one of the most recent ones from member Mena. 33 attacks for Teeler, 33 for Chaich. But the clear go-to has been member Mena. Coming over from Atlanta, her second year in the PVF. It's hard to believe that she didn't even have volleyballs around the house growing up. Her brothers played basketball. She didn't have volleyballs in her household. So she would hit basketballs off the wall to herself, just finding a way. She loved the sport that much. Also makes sense with how hard she can hit the ball too if she's practicing with basketballs.
Yeah, she said, you know, when you don't have the world and then some, you just have to figure out a way to get it done.
Schwann able to tool, and Orlando hanging on by a thread right now, down 18-14 in the fourth.
Schwann just catching that outside hand of Teeler on that.
Also notable for Orlando, Hannah Pukas has been setting for quite a while in place of Shampoo. Got the ace there. Apparently Orlando feeling like they needed a change at that setter spot. And Pukas was a two-time All-American at Oregon. Hammered down. How did Teeler get that verticality?
I mean, just looking at this replay here, putting everything into it, getting into the seam of the block there. Kaz Brown a little frustrated after that. Orlando just looking for answers after such dominance in that first set.
Really flips, and it's remarkable. You knew there would be nerves on Indy's side, but everything was crisp for Orlando. The Ignite settled in real quick after that first set. Scott serving. Had some nice moments tonight in her pro debut. Schwann had it stonewalled, and Indy the first to the red zone.
Talking about Scott too a little bit more, who returns the service line now. She's really elevated Kylie Murr's play too.
Pushing each other in practice, as that is hammered home by Groats. Murr with 11 digs tonight. Showing good leadership out there on the floor, while Scott has rotated in a few times, has a couple of digs. And served a few times as well. Swan rolls out of the back row. Upstairs, Chaic.
It feels like the entire Indy offense has really gotten into rhythm. Whoever Hilly decides to set, it seems like the connections have really started to form a lot more now in set number 4.
And give credit to Hilly as well. We talked about her a couple of times tonight. With a deep connection with her head coach, George Padgett, and quietly doing her thing with 41 assists, 14 digs. A double-double for Sydney Hilly. Calmly tapped up. Puke is setting. Vanderweide cross court for the kill. Vanderweide played 4 years at Oregon for the San Diego Mojo last season, averaging over 2.5 kills a set. Kaz Brown serves. Off the line drive. Tip over from Hilly. It's a bump set for Vanderweide. Change up from Member Mena. How can you stop it when she's shown power all game?
Well, she winds up like she's gonna unload and then just tips it over the block. Gets the touch off it and drops right into the middle. Great court vision.
3 points away from a set 4 win and a match win. First in franchise history. A challenge here from Orlando. A center line fault challenge from the Valkyries is what we're being told. That foot of Hilly did leak over for a moment. And on the back end, Member Mena was easily clean.
The call is confirmed. Point Ignite.
Now that foot didn't go all the way over the line, just the toe. And that will keep it with the Ignite. Worth a shot if you're Orlando on the ropes right now.
You see in the college game that sometimes when you're out of timeouts, you'll take a challenge, even if you don't necessarily think that it'll go your way, to talk to your team. But in the PVF, it's so efficient with the way the challenges go, there's not much time.
Yeah, you do get a break, but not much. As Orlando's able to answer with growth. You don't see Abercrombie in the match. Right on cue, she's checking back in. Shampoo as well. Orlando getting deeper into its bench, going away from the stars that gave them the success that they had early.
But now not much room for error, like you said, with Abercrombie coming back in. You have a feeling that she'll be targeted.
As Orlando makes a last-ditch effort to extend the match. It took set 1. Indy the last 2 sets. Dig for Murphy. Vanderweide off the top. Tight to the net. Chaic tries again. It was blocked. Great save, though. Scott was there. Was there a touch? No, it goes long, and Orlando within 3. And it looks like Indy will challenge now.
The Ignite is challenging a touch.
Looking for a touch. Again, you've got 2 challenges per set. Might as well use them. And like you said, give yourself a break, and you never know. Confirmed, pretty clear. So Member Mena's got 24 kills, 17 for Teeler to lead the Ignite. Double-figure digs for Member Mena with 18 11 for Murr, 14 for Hilly, and 10 for Chaich. Member Mena for the back row, hammers it home.
The crowd loves that one. 20-plus kills on the night for member Mena.
Up to 25 now, hitting over 350. Ignite 2 points away. Valkyries not going down without a fight. Gives Vanderweide a chance to serve. Clean receive. Hilly setting. Taylor the swing. Abercrombie. It's a bump set from Murr. Back to Taylor. And here we go. Match point for Indy in their first match in franchise history. Kept up. Saved by Murr. Still a chance for Indy. And Abercrombie extends.
To serve. Match point number 2.
Second match point for the Ignite. Taylor. Abercrombie kept it up. What an effort. The Indy Ignite have arrived. Indy wins its first match in franchise history. We'll be back on the other side. Just listen. Together, Franklin Sports and Pro Volleyball Federation are shaking up the world of volleyball. Franklin is the provider of the Real Pro Volleyball, the exclusive ball of Pro Volleyball Federation and the ultimate volleyball for our world-class professionals. You can get your Franklin Real Pro Volleyball today at franklinsports.com. A historic picture right there, following the first win after the first match in franchise history. As we are joined by the player of the game today, Lekator member Mena. Lekator, how can you describe what this was like tonight?
I mean, it was absolutely amazing, electric, just beautiful.
You guys really turned it on after that first set. What was the talk like in the huddle?
I think we know how good we can be, and I know that Orlando already had a game underneath their belt. And so I think, you know, we have a team full of rookies and like a couple experienced players. So I think getting those nerves out was what happened in the first set. But then after that, we're like, that's over with. That's over with. We know what we can do. We know what we do in practice. We're going to bring it to the court. There's no way we're bringing all these people here and we're not coming out with a win.
Along with getting those nerves out, for you specifically, from set 2 on, you were spectacular. What were you seeing to allow you to have so much success?
Say that one more time.
What were you seeing out there to allow you personally to have so much success tonight?
I decided to wait a little bit longer on my second step so I could actually see the block. And after that, it was game over.
What should everyone know about this Indy Ignite team going forward? What can they expect the rest of the season?
We are a gritty team. Like, no matter how we start, our goal is to always finish strong. We have elite players all around the board, and I think we have a bunch of girls who feel like they have something to prove. So just expect grit. Like, even if we start bad, like, we're going to finish good. So I think that's what to expect from us.
All right, Lekator, last one. Your message to all the Ignite fans that came out tonight and that are watching tonight.
Just a huge shout out to all of you guys. Like, the atmosphere was absolutely electric, and I don't think we would have been able to turn the momentum around if it wasn't for the Indy Ignite fans. So big shout out to you guys.
Lekator, congratulations. Great match tonight.
Thank you.
The Ignite take it in 4. Didn't look great after the first, but the nerves went away real quick, and the talents that they accrued over the offseason leading into their first match in franchise history really started to show up. Taking 3 in a row to win their first ever match, 25-21 in the fourth to wrap it up. That's going to do it for us in the Fishers Event Center. What a match. Thanks for joining us. For Bria Losick and our producer, Corwin Leverich, I'm Jack Kaiser saying so long from Indy. Join us in the future for all Indy Ignite matches.